Welcome back to another video. Today we're checking out ShadPS4, a PS4 emulator running on the Xbox Ally X. Of course, this will work on any Windows PC or PC handheld. If you happen to have a Steam Deck, I have a video in the description down below that'll show you how to do that on there. Now, unfortunately, I can't really tell you where to get the PS4 ROMs, but I mean, if you wait until the end of the video, maybe I can show you a little something, if you know what I'm talking about. But of course, if you happen to have any questions before I get into it, you can always feel free to leave that in the comment section down below and I'll help you out to the best that I can. And of course, always hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for more videos like that, and let's get to it. So to get started, we are going to have to go to the desktop, and if you're on the Xbox Ally, you're just going to go ahead and press the Xbox button, go over to the cog wheel and exit full screen experience. Once you're on the desktop, we are going to have to go ahead to our browser of choice. You can use whatever you want. We are going to have to go to shadps4.net for the emulator. And then we're going to have to go ahead and download something else called ggl.link, which is going to convert our ROMs to playable games on the emulator. The first thing is going to be that ShadPS4. You could go ahead and Google it. It'll most likely be the first website. If not, I'll leave links in the description down below. It's going to be shadps4.net. Once you're here, just go ahead and click on downloads up top. If you get this pop-up, just hit the X, and then we're going to go ahead and download the Windows version here. It's going to be ShadPS4 QT Launcher. It's going to be the recommended version. Just make sure you go ahead and download that. Once that's downloaded, we're going to go to the PKG editor, and then we're going to click on the KimiStar.pkg editor 2023. Once again, I'll have a link for this in the description down below as well. We're going to go ahead to releases, click on that, and just make sure that it is the latest release. From here, we're going to click on the .raw file. Now, as of recording, of course, these are the latest versions. When you do this, it may be different, but this hasn't been updated since 2023, so most likely this will be the version that you see. But once those two are downloaded, you could go to your download folder, or just go ahead and click on the download button up here. You could go ahead and drag and drop those to the desktop just to make things a little bit more easier to manage. And then once you have those two zip folders, we are going to have to go ahead and unzip them. Now, you don't need any type of programs to do this. Windows does this perfectly fine on its own. You can either press on the screen with your finger and hold down on the folder, and it will get this pop up here. Or you can hover over it with a mouse or the controller itself and then hit the right trigger, and you'll get this pop up here. Once that's done, you can just go ahead and press extract all on both of these folders, and you should get these two folders here. Now, once that's done, you can take those zip folders and just throw them out. They're no longer needed. And we'll continue working from here. Now, the ShadPS4 folder is what we're going to go into first. We are going to have to create a games folder. Now, you can either use the games folder within the folder of ShadPS4, or if you're like me, you're using an external hard drive. You can use that or a micro SD card if you happen to have that plugged in as well. It works the same way either way. So if you happen to be using a external hard drive, we are going to go to our file explorer and look for that. I have mine here, and we're just going to go ahead and create a PS4 folder, put our games folder in there, or we could just put games on the root of the micro SD card or the external hard drive. Doesn't really matter. But we are going to make games folder just to make it easier to find when we need to get to it. And within there is where we're going to drop all our ROMs. Same thing for this ShadPS4 folder here. Just go ahead and make a folder within that. If you don't know how to, you can go ahead and hold down on the screen or just hit the right trigger once again. You get the pop-up. Go ahead and press new folder, and then just go ahead and name that whatever you want pretty much, and then put that into the folder with the ShadPS4. Next, we're going to go ahead and launch ShadPS4. And by default, you are not going to get this pop up here. What you are going to get is this right here. You're going to get this pop up here. It's going to ask you to choose your directory. You're going to go and you're going to browse and you're going to look for that games folder that you just made, whether or not it's on your micro SD card or your external hard drive, or on the desktop itself within the ShadPS4 folder. Mine is within the M.2 that I have here. So I'm going to go ahead and press on the games, select folder, and then just press OK. Now your games are not going to pop up, and we are going to have to go ahead and convert our games to playable files for the emulator itself. So we could go ahead and close everything out and then go to PKG editor. From here, we already have the PKG editor here. Click on that, and then we're going to go to file, open, and we're going to look for our games. We're going to go to that folder with our games. I have here Bloodborne as well as Infamous Second Son. So we're going to click on one of our games, and then we're most likely going to have a PKG file. We're going to click on that for our game, and it should pop up. From here, we're going to hit export to GP4 project, and it should pop up the folder that we just got the game from. If it doesn't, that's perfectly fine. You could pretty much put this wherever you need to. Just put it where you put that directory for ShadPS4. If you pointed it towards that games folder, that's where you're going to want to put it. I'm going to leave it within the Bloodborne folder because it's still within that games folder. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit save here. I've already did it. And this should take roughly 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how fast the file transfer is. It also depends on how large the game is. This is a 30 gigabyte game, so it took about 5 to 10 minutes to finish. But as it is working, you'll get a progress bar right here that glows green, and then once it's done, it'll tell you just press OK, and then you can close this out. You can also do multiple games at once, so just go ahead and hit the PK editor, file, open, look for another game, and you can have multiple games transferring at the same time. Once that's all said and done, you could go back into the ShadPS4 emulator, and then once you open it up, your game should show. Or you could just go ahead and press refresh list, and it should pop up. From there, you can either start your game, or there are a couple more things that I do want to go ahead and cover. For one is the version manager. So you can go ahead and you can test out different versions of ShadPS4. As of the release of this video, the newest version is 0.12.5, but there is also, of course, a pre-release, which you can go ahead and check that out. There may be some bugs, some things may not work. I found that Bloodborne actually works a lot better on the pre-release than it does on 12.5. So that's just something you have to go ahead and check out. You could go and click on that. It'll ask you if you want to download. You could press yes, and then it'll download it. And you can go ahead and just change between the two different versions, or whichever versions that you want. You could go ahead and download them all, see which one does work better for you. Next thing is within the settings itself. So we're going to go to front end. And from here, you can check for updates to make sure that you have the newest version of ShadPS4. You can also go ahead and check for updates at startup. If you had just downloaded this, most likely you are on the latest version. A new version does come out roughly every month or so, so it's not a weekly thing that you have to actually go ahead and check with this. And then another thing is update compatibility database. So you want to go ahead and do that every so often as well. Press apply, save, and then you should be good to go, and you can just go ahead and start the game. Now, the controller on the Xbox Ally X does work right away. There's no configuration needed. You can just go ahead and start that, and the game will work with the controls already as is. So now when it comes to playing different games, I know that Bloodborne does run. It runs around 30 FPS. Certain games may not work. I wasn't able to get God of War 3 to run on the emulator. I'm not sure if that was ever fixed, but that was just something I ran into before. Certain games just don't work. There is a compatibility list that I'll leave in the description down below. You can cross-check to see which games you have, whether or not they work on the emulator. If they are compatible, there may be some games that just have a little bit more issues than other games, but as you see here, Bloodborne does run. It is a little bit choppy here or there at times. I believe there are certain mods that might actually improve performance, but I'm not too sure about that. I didn't really dig into that too much. All right, so like I mentioned before, towards the start of the video, I can't really tell you exactly where to get PS4 ROMs. It's just something that, you know, YouTube doesn't really like. Just me going about telling you exactly where to download these games and things like that. But I mean, it's not too hard. You can go ahead and figure it out yourself. It really isn't too difficult to do. But of course, if you have any questions or concerns, you need any help with running this on your Xbox Ally, just let me know in the comment section down below. Either I or maybe someone else would be able to help you out. Of course, if this helped you out, maybe go ahead and help me out by hitting that like button, subscribing for more videos like this, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.